Hey, Blackburn Social Club, God bless America. I did it again. Before I do that, I'm going to ask you guys to key in on, I've got a microphone now to help with the echo, hopefully. I've got my MacBook Pro set up so I can see a little bit better if I'm in focus and things like that. I'm going to try to keep my eyes on you, but long story short, this is a work in progress. Bear with me. Talking boots on the whites semi-dress. This particular one, it's a second pair I bought recently. If you've been following me, go back and look. This is the first pair. You remember this in the brown CXL, perforated cap toe? Bought this off of eBay. And I like the 55 last so much that I did it again. In this case, we're going to assume this is a British Tan CXL. When you buy used, sometimes you don't get the box, sometimes you don't get the best description, but when I saw the 55 lasted Archie support, which you guys know, I've been talking about that lately, I'm really liking this boot. I'm really liking it. And when I saw it in this British Tan, or at least what I'm going to call British Tan CXL. I feel like that's what it is. I asked a few folks on Instagram to chime in, and overall, it's the consensus. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely CXL because it's got a lot of the same grain and textures that the brown CXL, the known boot, is. So, main differences on this boot, if you hadn't already picked up, it's a plain toe. Whites, and I don't think I need to go into White's history for you guys, but I will. Edward White, 1853, Connecticut, moved by his son James and grandson Otto to Spokane, Washington to become, oldest P&W bootmaker ish. I mean, somebody correct me, but all I know is the Googles and what they say. But yeah, I mean, so P&W boot, logger heel, Vibram sole, split sole, which again, is it's just my favorite. It's my favorite. I like when I see, and one of these days I'm gonna have like a Dr. sole. I like the thick split sole, and in this case, it is a little bit. Trying to get you. It is a little narrow, shallow maybe. Anyway, it's not that thick. I would be okay if it was a little bit thicker, but they didn't ask. The semi-dress is again made obvious because of the stitching that comes up around the heel counter. Thin, narrow backstay up the middle. Stitching is clean on it. I mean, it's now. Keep in mind, these are secondhand to me, so you're going to see some imperfections and some scuffs in the leather. But you kind of expect that. Stitch down construction. So this would have been their hand lasted, hand bottomed, hand welted boot. Leather shank, obviously leather midsole. And the 55 last Archies, like I said, it's the most, or at least out of the White's boots I have, it's the most supportive on that arch that I have found. Now, when you put these boots on, not gonna lie, you feel this portion of the heel. I mean, that's where it's giving you that support. I mean, the shank is resting on that, and so when you're walking in this, you feel it under your arch. And that's the most complained about thing I think I've heard about these things is, it's too much arch. And that's why it's important for you to find the right one, because once you find it and once you realize that's what you need, it's what you need. Now, I didn't need another pair of Whites. Keep in mind, it wasn't that long ago that I sold the first pair of Whites I had, those MP Sherman Huckberry collabs, sold them. ended up eating some crow, because once I let them go, I think the thing on that pair of boots was just maybe the cut, the mixing panels of the leather just didn't do it for me. And again, nothing against the people that did something for, but it didn't do it for me. And I didn't like the way it had a sloppy, little bit oversized. I already talked about all that. I didn't like the way it had its sloppy creases, the way the toe was breaking. So I sold them. Ended up finding my way back to that CMP Sherman with the 50/50 last. And I was, it made me a believer. So I immediately went back to White's website, Baker Boots, actually, Baker Shoes, whatever it is. And I ordered a brand new pair to come to me in natural CXL. So thinking that would be it, naively so, I ended up finding this brown pair of CXL, the brown CXL semi-dress boots. And of course, this has got the, perforated cap toe. I've already showed you this. There's another video out there for it. But when I found these, and you can tell that's actually got a little bit thicker. Let's see what the difference is, because I'm looking at it now. It's let's show you. You can see that the Vibram sole is thicker on the brown CXL, and on this one it's got an extra leather midsole. So can you see that? You got two layers, a double layer of leather midsole on that, whereas this one has a single layer and a thicker Vibram sole. Runs all the way through it. So yeah, I'm starting to see some of the differences. You see how this one has the Vibram, the sole that runs all the way through, and this pair has the additional leather midsole. So I really, like I said, as soon as I saw them, I started trying to work out the situation. I was going to have this pair of boots. Now the sad part is, I got these the other day, put them on, and when I say sad part, keep in mind, there's something wrong with me, because as soon as I got these, and I was thinking in my mind, wife's going to kill me. Bags are coming, stuff showing up on the porch. And then I got another email from Baker's that those CMP Shermans, the natural CXL, have shipped too. So this puts me to 4 pair of White's boots, and I'm not mad about any of that. Now, the thing that I like about White's, and this is not a slight against any of you Knicks guys, but I feel like I need to say it out loud, because when I see, and it's not all Knicks, but I want to be honest, I'm going to say I think it's a lot of Knicks boots, what I see in their Celastic toe, and I tried to explain this to somebody on a comment, it's like I always see, it's like they used too big of a Celastic toe, and you always see it. It's always pronounced. It's always, and it was that way with one of the pair of Knicks that I had. When you look down at it, no matter how I put my foot out there in front of me, you would just see that toe, and then you'd see the leather breaking over it. I don't notice that in White so much. So, like here, again, I can feel it. I can feel where it ends, but it doesn't detract from what I'm seeing. So you don't see that line. And being a guy that used to wear steel toe boots and stuff I always hated that. I always hated that Frankenstein-like, weird, where you could see something under it. And I don't see that in the Whites. Now, obviously you didn't see it here because you actually had a double layer cap toe. But when you see it here, this almost has a unstructured toe look, but there's definitely something there. But I think White's just has something better about fitting that up. Now, the worst thing that you might say about a White's, and this was something that I did take away from the first pair of MP Shermans, was you do see with that stitch down construction, you do see that lumpy welt. That may bother you because it's not as clean or it's not as refined, but I don't know, it's growing on me. It really is growing on me. So things about this boot, they're both 10.5E. So for me, on a Brannock sizing situation, that's one full size down, and it's E width, and that fits me perfectly in this boot. You know, if I were to, I can't really critique anything about the construction because, again, they are used boots. So, but again, if I were to jump back and try to imagine taking this out of the box and looking for quality situations or problems, I'm not seeing any. You know, there's some frayed stitching and things like that, but I have to assume that that's from the wear that they were given. I'd like to think that they came out better than that from the factory. Stitch down spacing, all that looks good. The color, British Tan CXL, again, we're guessing, but my gosh, does that not, I mean, it's like that glass of sweet tea, honey look. I think I love it. I think I do. Logger heel, you know, that's not always been my thing, but I'm not minding it. Yeah, I think that they look, for whatever reason, I think I like the way that heel looks a little bit more on a shorter boot than I do on the tall stuff. So I think it looks a little bit more, maybe more proportionate, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I really like the way it's growing on me again. That kind of thing's growing on me. White's always has that really cool, deep return around your heel, so it fits and holds you really good. Nothing fancy on the inside. You know, three-quarter midsole rather, so it comes up to about here. This particular boot is unlined. You know, taller tongue. I don't know. I mean, you guys, I mean, like I said, tell me what you want to know, but Quabog heel, heel lift, and I guess that's a Vibram, so it's not marked, but I guess it is. This one, you saw it, definitely. You can see that, but with the split sole, like I said, I am tickled with them. So you guys tell me what you think. One, give me a vote of, do you think this is British Tan CXL? Hard to tell right now, just because it's old and it's got some wear on it. But I am really liking this semi-dress boot. You guys tell me what you think. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk soon. What did I miss? Did I miss something? I feel like I've been rambling for a minute, but I might have missed something. 4 holes, 2 speed hooks. Semi-dress has got the 5-inch height. I mean, gosh, just what a good-looking boot. I'll see if I can get some photos of this on today, or maybe mix in some clips. Like I said, when I'm working like this with all this set up through the MacBook, it's going to take me a minute to learn that. So hopefully I'll get this out today. Again, you guys be blessed. Share this if you want. Y'all be good.